At this point, I need a Kendrick and SZA album. What's going on, Hilltop Mafia? Listen, happy holidays on Christmas Eve. We got a very, very special one. Piggybacking off of the success of Kendrick and SZA's new album drop and their new song that has heads turning, I thought we'd turn back the clock and check out a video that I've never seen before, but also a song that a lot of people are talking about because there's some really interesting connections to the recent beef and feud with Drake and the recent drop that Kendrick and SZA had. So this right here, right now is none other than All the Stars. But before I get further, listen, if you like the hat that I'm wearing, if you like the hoodie that I'm wearing, knoxhilldmv.com. Go cop your merch this holiday season. It's not too late to support. It really does go a long way. We got hats, we got shirts, we got hoodies, everything that you need, guys. I'll put all links down there to cop your merch. But anyways, know what we're here for. Kendrick, SZA, step back up to the plate. Let's see what you got. Wow. What a shot and a half that is.
Let's talk about love. Is it anything and everything you offer? I didn't feel it on you. I didn't feel it on you. Maybe the night that my tears might let me know. All the stars are close, all the stars are close, all the stars are close. Maybe the night that my tears might let me know. All the stars are closer, all the stars are closer, all the stars are closer. Tell me what you gonna do, tell me.
I'll tell you what, man, what a voice. What a voice in SZA. But what's dope is that there's so much symbolism already that we can break down. I mean, this is visually just so rich. And then obviously you see, hang on. Look at that. That first shot feels like a movie. It's so cinematic. And obviously this is based off the movie soundtrack for Black Panther. But what I love is the levels to this, right? You see the waving sea of hands. And that for me represents the lost souls. And I think of, obviously like Western culture. I think of Greek mythology and river Styx and Charon, who was the ferryman. But if I remember correctly, in ancient Egypt, they also had a ferryman to carry souls to the afterlife, right? Or something. I can't remember how to pronounce it, right? So you'll have to excuse me. But that to me represents, because remember, Black Panther, Wakanda, there's the African connections throughout this. So this has got to be Egyptian mythology, right? And it's Kendrick being the ferryman, right? Dressed in all black, black for death, right? Crossing it. And then you see the thunderclouds around. But this could go deeper already just with the visuals. And this is what Kendrick brings you. Remember we've talked about on past Kendrick albums, this sort of messianic complex that he deals with, right? Feeling like he is a savior, obviously to black identity, to black culture, and how he deals with that throughout. And he has a lot of references to religion and to Jesus and being a black messiah. So in this case, you have almost this sea, because I don't see any of my melanated deficient hands here. I see a lot of black hands being waved, which to me, again, represents the lost souls, possibly a black identity, lost souls from the motherland of Africa and the great diaspora through slavery. I think there's lots of layers to this. That's just incredible already. Even that shot right there, right? I think we're mourning death, and then SZA gives like a female goddess look there and a face to death, Egyptian goddess of death. I keep going Egyptian, but obviously there's different levels to this, right? You have the change to the red. Now the red is also symbolic and important because in a second here, Kendrick walks through with the orange. Okay? Stay with me. Colors are important in symbolism. Red for death and mourning, funeral, save the children probably because it's all children around. And then Kendrick walking through with the orange, which the orange tree can represent eternal life. Or better yet, a great Kendrick theme that he loves to touch upon is reincarnation. He sees himself as the reincarnation of Pac. We just broke down Reincarnated from the GNX album. So while you have death Kendrick being the only one to wear orange signifies sort of breaking death and making it a continuous cycle and coming back around through reincarnation, right? Bringing hope. Much in the same way that he was bringing hope as he was navigating a sea of lost souls. Then you have the outline of the African continent there, which is actually all the stars in the sky, almost like a galaxy, which is super clever when it just drops into SZA's chorus. And then you start showing her dancing amongst the stars. All the stars approach you, right? Stars are living memory, but stars for a lot of cultures represents ancestors, right? Represents, you know, those who have passed. It represents their spirits, right? So being one with the stars, and one of the powers of Black Panther was to connect to all the other Black Panthers, to communicate with his ancestors. So you could take it as stars, like chasing your dreams, like in that sort of representation. But then there's that deeper level and that deeper layer already to this, which is, man, 45 seconds in, holy cow. All the stars are closer, because even like Black Panther, right? And rest in peace to Chadwick, man. Rest in peace to a legend. But, you know, you talk about his journey and achieving the power of the ancestors and becoming the Black Panther and feeling like all the stars are closer because you have this oneness with the ancestors. And I feel like there's a lot of that identity being spoken on here through Kendrick Lamar and through SZA, and feeling like the stars are closer, like they're connecting the history. They're connecting the heritage and the cultural expression.
Tell me what you gonna do to me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Woo!
Fuck you and all your expectations. I don't even want your congratulations. I recognize your false confidence and calculated promises all in your conversation. I hate people that feel entitled. Look at me crazy cause I ain't invite you. Oh, you important, you the moral to the story. You endorsing, motherfucker, I don't even like you. Corrupt a man's heart with a gift. That's how you find out who you dealing with. A small percentage you I'm building with. I want the credit if I'm losing or I'm winning. On my mama, that's the realest shit. Let's talk about love.
Man, all right. There's so much more to this. Squabble Up, we did a breakdown of that video. What I didn't even realize is back then, Kendrick was really on this style of delivery, like he could care less about actually like delivering the lyrics and giving you like that overemphasis that you get from a lot of artists in music videos. It's almost like the delivery of the lyrics just is second nature, right? It's an afterthought almost, and just the casual composure of the Gemini. Even here, in the middle of everything, you just always get this sense of self-control and self-composure from Kendrick and the way that he carries himself throughout this video. Some more just rich African cultural references. Now we're going out to the Congo. Shout out to the DRC, baby, right? Sapology, which is when you dress very dapper dawn. And that's what you have, is this fashion style behind him, this way of standing out, of elegance. And it's also important because you think about African identity, right? You think about the colonization of Africa by Europe, right? And the treaty that led to just the separation of Africa into a number of the countries that it is today, but often like pitting rival tribes against each other, dividing tribes, just setting a system for divide and conquer that European colonization did. And this movement of fashion is a rebellious expression against that, of celebrating Black identity and individualism, and almost rebelling against like the fashion norms of, say, a Paris or Western culture and Western fashion. So there's so many levels already to this for me. How have we not done this before? This is, whew.
People that feel entitled. Look at me.
I forgot to break down the lyrics. Also, I think we might have some Drake connections, which is wild.
Confrontation ain't nothing new to me.
Confrontation ain't nothing new to me, right? I came from an area of violence, and it's so true. Like, you continue to have this warrior monk spirit of Kendrick, right? He's so relaxed. His delivery, is sort of dropped down. It's not like it's angry. It's not like it's passionate. It's over emphatic. It's like, yeah, I've been through war. I'm ready for confrontation. And you sort of have that duality of spirit and nature of this like peace within, but willing to engage in conflict and engage in war and controversy on the outside that Kendrick carried into the Drake beef and carries beyond into the GNX album.
You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't.
Notice the dancing as well. Again, a lot of rich representations of culture. Is that black smoke as well? Like black fireworks blowing up?
Fuck you and all your expectations.
Hang on.
To me. Confrontation ain't nothing new to me. You could bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me.
Bring a bullet, bring a sword, bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me. You could bring all this violence, but you can't bring the truth because I'll find my own greater truth through it all. What an expression right there.
You could bring a bullet,
and you also think about, like, again, we're going to keep connecting to African identity here and the colonization of Africa, right? And the violence that was brought to Africa and the division that was sown. But there's something greater. There's a greater truth underneath that Kendrick is searching. Black Converse, shout out.
Bring a morgue, but you can't bring the truth to me. Fuck you and all your expectations. I don't even want your congratulations. I recognize your false confidence and calculated promises all in your conversation.
I don't even want your congratulations. I recognize your false confidence.
Your false confidence and calculated promises.
Calculated promises, almost like a politician making calculated promises.
In your conversation. I hate people that feel entitled.
I hate people that feel entitled. I can't help but think years later, I hate the way that you walk. I hate the way that you talk. I wonder if there's, because you got to remember, the subverted disses and subliminals between Kendrick and Drake have been going back and forth for years and years ever since Kendrick dropped Control. I wonder if there's a setup here. He might be talking about Drake or he might not be. But either way, what he sees and his moral code is what ultimately leads to this war that we see with Drake. And it's previewed and foreshadowed here because he hates people like this, right? He hates people who take advantage of the culture, who whisper these false promises, right? Whether it's those who take advantage of black identity and black culture. And for Kendrick, that comes to represent Drake later on. So even though he doesn't necessarily have to have Drake in mind here, it comes to reflect and become Drake later on through the battle. And this is why, because he's showing you where he stands. And he ends up backing up where he stands. He doesn't just say it, right? He walks the walk through this. Whew.
Promises all in your conversation. I hate people that feel entitled. Look at me crazy cause I ain't invite you. Oh, you important, you the moral to the story. You endorsing, motherfucker, I don't even like you.
You important, you're the moral to the story. You endorsing, motherfucker, I don't even like you. Remember that Drake cosign, that Drake stimulus package that a lot of artists wanted to get. He doesn't like people like that. They get full of themselves and full of their fame, and they become bigger than their art. They become bigger than standing for something and standing for a movement, which is more of what Kendrick likes to stand for, right? When the ego becomes bigger than the movement. Kendrick has a big problem with that, and people who reflect that.
Oh, you important, you the moral to the story. You endorsing, motherfucker, I don't even like you. Corrupt a man's heart with a gift. That's how you find out who you dealing with. A smart percentage you I'm building with.
Corrupted man's heart with a gift. Religious themes. Coming back around. What was the ultimate gift that led to original sin? The gift of the apple from the forbidden tree of knowledge given by the snake in the Garden of Eden, right? That gift, that corrupted man. And this for Kendrick can go even deeper.
Motherfucker, I don't even like you. Corrupt a man's heart with a gift. That's how you find out who you dealing with.
So he could be calling these types of people snakes. That's what I take it as. He's calling them snakes in the grass, much in the same way of the original snake as represented through the devil that corrupted man's heart. There's levels.
Corrupt a man's heart with a gift. That's how you find out who you dealing with. A smart percentage you I'm building with. I want the credit if I'm losing or I'm winning. On my mama, that's the realest shit.
I want the credit if I'm losing or I'm winning. Because everybody wants the credit when they're winning. Kendrick wants it through the losses as well. What does that mean? That he doesn't change, that he doesn't code switch. When things are going bad, when there's controversy, he's always the same in terms of his output, in terms of his work, in his beliefs. So that's why he always wants the credit. Through the ups and through the downs, it's always consistent.
I want the credit if I'm losing.
Some dope ass lines through this.
Winning on my mama, that's the realest shit.
Obviously, you see the soccer ball too, man. Shout out to one of the greatest sports worldwide that I grew up playing, and that gave me a lot of opportunities to travel and to play.
My mama, that's the realest shit.
Very important sport in Africa too. That's a symbolism right there, as a means for escape, as a means for rising above your circumstances. There's a lot of empowering symbolism throughout this. Wow. Come on, I can't even let it run and listen to more of the music because this is such an incredible shot. The Black Panthers running around. Shout out to Huey Newton. Shout out to the Black Panthers, right? And the Black Panther movement. But then also the movie, the MCU, the Black Panthers. There's a lot of empowerment going on still in identity talks. But the yellow is the only color that stands out amongst the black and the white. It's almost like a dead forest. Like he's walking through the desolation. To me, he's walking through the black diaspora in a sense. But what he brings here, even amidst this death and desolation, that yellow is symbolic of the sun rising and symbolic of eternal life. Again, more importance to the colors that he dons and that he wears throughout this. I love those strings and how they build right there. And then the red, again, to me can represent death, right? Blood, war, destruction. But the blood, like roses, red, could be love as well, because that transforms. She turns the blood, to me, into pink right there, right? Takes something tragic and turns it into something more beautiful. And then you see the different African colors underneath of that represented. All right, let's keep it running. The flamingos in Africa as well. Wow, it's beautiful. Again, I feel like there's a lot of moments when we have Kendrick Lamar and SZA where you have a duality, right? You have different themes, and SZA reflects more upon those like relationship themes, right? And those explorations of love, right? And even the toxicity of relationships, I feel like is touched on here a little bit through the lyricism. But then there's always that duality. There's always the underneath meaning with a greater purpose and a greater message. And we've touched upon a lot of that through Kendrick's verse and throughout the visuals of this song so far. And here again, you have more of like the warrior spirit rising up. And notice the blues coming together. The colors are very important throughout this.
I just pray for no reason.
Right? The blue is more for composure, but the blue also water and life and flowing through.
I just think for the life, for the day, for the hours, had another life breathing. How did it all gonna feel good? You let me it all if you feel bad. Better live your life. We've been running out of time.
Better live your life. We are running out of time. And you just feel again that spirituality, that empowerment rising.
Let's talk about this.
Now here's the gold for wealth, right? The gold for richness. And for me, there's more than just material wealth. There's a richness of spirit, a richness of culture. Like Nas used to rap about, one of the greatest empires in Nubia, right? You had emperors, you had vast wealth and richness and resources and rich history and tradition. I know Kendrick is short, but he's not that short.
Let me know all the stars are closer. All the stars are closer.
African goddesses, I take it as.
All the stars are closer.
Also female warriors. Oh, wow. And then we go back to the Africa outline. What a powerful song to me of soul searching, of identity, of culture that you can take and reflect upon the journey that Chadwick goes on in terms of finding his inner strength and finally overcoming Killmonger and Black Panther. You know what I thought about too is Kendrick's verse is almost like that type of energy, like a Killmonger energy. It's almost like the antithesis to that, right? And it's almost like a flip of that. And then SZA brings it back around with more of that soulful spirit. Like Kendrick brings you that war and SZA brings you that love and that searching together, but walking amongst the stars. And for me, the visuals were absolutely stunning and incredible because, again, it ties in with the MCU timeline. It ties in with themes that we find within Wakanda. But then there's greater societal themes and musical themes being explored here in terms of African culture. And then obviously Black identity, even in the United States, and this connections back to the homeland of Africa. That was just incredible. Kendrick Lamar, SZA, you were Knox Hill certified. Hope you guys liked today's video. Listen, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays. Enjoy it with your loved ones. Do me a huge favor. If you're here at the end, you're enjoying the breakdowns, you know a lot goes into these. Who else is doing it like this? It takes a simple click to subscribe, notifications on, and show your support. It really does go a long way. I love you guys. Happy Holidays. I'll catch you again.